my have not seen. I did Faiz, and then I did the 2 Faiz movies. So I'm gonna do the show first, and then I'm gonna end on the movies.
Standing by.
せめて子供の未来ぐらい守ってやる。変身。
So I'm gonna do it.
I mean,
opposite here.
if we're in a time crunch, I can skip Godzilla Final Wars.
No, we're not in a time crunch. I wasn't sure if you had done 2, so I wasn't sure if I was just gonna smash all the 5 shit together. But no, if you've got another thing, then we'll back and forth. Faiz. So Kamen Rider Faiz came out in 2003, and the basic premise of it is, we already went. It's okay. So where Decay goes wrong is it does not take place at a school. It doesn't take place at Smart Brain School. It doesn't take place.
Smart Brain School.
Well, so okay, so basically, in this world, there's a corporation called the Smart Brain Corporation, and they are run by the Orphanox. And Orphanox are creatures you basically become when you die. And there's 2 kinds of Orphanox. There's natural Orphanox. If you have this special gene in you, it's mutants, like you said. But if you got the special gene in you, when you die, you are reborn as an Orphanox, and you come to life again. Or you become one if you get attacked by an Orphanic, and they can give you the compound or whatever, and you become an Orphanox that way. The unnatural ones don't last. They die on their own. They die really quickly. And so one of the people who works for Smart Brain, he sends out various Kamen Rider belts to his foster children, all of whom belong to a special school called the Ryusei School. They survived some sort of massacre at a reunion of theirs. And so the girl sidekick in this show, she winds up with the belt, but she can't use it. And so she runs into the main guy, Kamen Rider Faiz, and he uses the belt. And one of the gimmicks in this season is that different characters can use the belts. If they have only Orphanox can use the belt. And so if you're an Orphanox, you can use the belt. So there's moments where like the bad guy will yank the belt off of his waist and put it on and use it and start attacking them. Or there's points where she's like, do you have the belt? He's like, no, I don't have the belt. So it's not like, the modern stuff where the belt just appears or they just have the belt on them at all times. Like there's times where they don't have it. Like they're often carrying it around in a little briefcase. And what's fun about this show, and why I'm glad you gave it to me as an option, is the Orphanox are not purely good or evil all of the time. So yes, there are the evil ones who are evil, but there is also a faction of good ones who want to be human and protect humans. And so there's times where Orphanox are fighting each other. Like there's the one guy, he's the horse one, and he often teams up with Faiz. And because Faiz can switch, over the course of the show, there's like 4 or 5 different people who are Faiz at any one point. Because of that, the horse guy initially, he just sees Faiz show up and unceremoniously just execute his friends. Like the big thing is like the Smart Brain Orphanox, they think that Orphanox should attack humans, like just kill humans indiscriminately. And the other Orphanox don't want to do that. And so there's certain Orphanox who just want to live as a human. Like they don't want to be a bad guy or attack. And so they hide as humans.
So what you're saying is there's a group of these Equinox guys who want to join Magneto and overthrow humanity and show them that they're the superior race. Yes. And then there's the group that are with Xavier, Equinox, yes. Xavier, who just want to live in peace.
Orphanox, but yes.
Or whatever, who just want to live in peace. Justin, yes. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to call them mutants. There's the mutants that want to live with Xavier,
yes.
Who want to live in peace and want to just be left the fuck alone.
More they just want to exist as regular people. So
that's what I said.
There's early episodes, where they show up and they're like, you got to, if they gain control of the belt, and they're like, because they want the belt. The whole thing is the in the early episodes are them trying to get the belts away, and they at one point they do, and
The
they're
Magneto group.
they're sending out. They're like, if you don't attack humans, we're gonna put you down, execute you. And so the others.
Well, that seems harsh.
Yeah. It's really. There's a character named Ku. I can't remember his name. It starts with a K. But he's my
Man,
favorite. He's my favorite.
Magneto in this show is just a real
He's,
monster.
he's my favorite character. He's basically like Jack Sparrow and Axel from Kingdom Hearts combined. He's that kind of aloof. I'm a badass kind of character. He has a really fun arc.
The
Where he,
name's Axel. Got it memorized.
there's a really
Savvy.
There's a really fun bit early on where he's having a real identity crisis. So he dyes his hair blonde along with the idiot friend character, and they decide that they want to be a hero. So they save a kid from this fire, and they're like, the fire was so hot it melted the blonde from your hair. He's got such an attitude. He's really fun. He's like, oh, I don't care. And he develops this affinity for this kid. It's really fun. It's really fun art.
So they really can't say that they didn't start the fire.
Yeah.
We didn't start the fire.
And yeah, so yeah, the fun bit is that the belt can swap around. So there's a bit where the whole bit of the show is the main guy's having this kind of crisis of conscience of, do I fight people? Do I kill these people if when they deserve it? And kind of comes to this realization that he has to if they've gone rogue or they've gone bad, but he doesn't always have to execute them. And then yes, midway through the series, there's a big twist. You find out, and it's a big twist. It's a big spoiler that the main guy, the reason why, because for a lot of the show, the mystery is how come he can use the belt? Why can he use the belt? And the big twist is he is also an Orphanok, and he's the wolf Orphanok because he's a lone wolf type guy. He's one of the stoic Kamen Riders whose background is mysterious, and he's an aloof loner because he became an Orphanok when he was a kid, and he thinks that he's the one who killed all of the Ryusei people. And big twist later on, you find out that they were executed so that they could be injected with the Orphanok serum, so it could be found out if regular humans could be turned into Orphanoks or not, and that's why they can all use the belt. So the second rider in the show, basically the second rider in the show is the second belt. If you use it, will kill you, and the one guy, he can use it without it killing him. And so his whole deal, he's just an asshole. He's a dick. His thing is he hates all Orphanoks blanketly. So if you're an Orphanok, he hates you, and he never.
So he's not a racist because he can't hate a race if they're all gone.
And so, my thing with him is you know how earlier you were like, pretty much that's pretty much his attitude. Remember how early on you were like
I can't be racist towards a racist that's extinct, like those glorophobes, dirty money grubbing glorophobes.
Like Orphanoks. No, so you know how earlier you were like, if the second rider does the I'm an annoying or I'm an aloof badass or whatever, they usually go through an arc where they become a good guy. He doesn't go through that arc.
They become a Piccolo.
They become a Piccolo. He's just an asshole the whole time. And so spoiler alert.
So he's a Vegeta.
Yeah, no matter what, like there's points where they're like, yeah, dude, you know, like they've helped us like a bajillion times, and he's a cool dude. Like he's a really cool dude. Like he's not a bad guy. Get over it. And he's like, nah, you're an Orphanok. Or like he works with Faiz for the whole time. His name's Kamen Rider Kaiza. It's Kaixa. Kaiza. That's how they pronounce it. And what he finds out that
X does not make a z noise.
It does in Japanese.
Although I guess it does. Xylophone.
Kaiza. When you find out that Kamen Rider Faiz is a wolf, he then from that point on was like, I will inevitably have to kill you because you're an Orphanok. And so the guy who the horse Orphanok, he's my favorite.
And wait, The guy who's a xenophobe is not an Orcanox?
Orphanoc, and no, he's not. He has Orphanoc DNA in him, but it failed, so he didn't become a full blown Orphanoc.
Oh, so he can have his cake and eat it too. He can use the powers and not be an Orcanoc?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And so he's out for revenge because they got attacked by them, so he hates them all. And he gets, spoiler alert, dies in the back half of the season, and he gets killed, and it's really brutal. I think I sent you a clip of it where he gets lifted up, and you see a guy crush his throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. The show does that thing where it wants you to feel bad for him, but he hasn't had any form of a redemptive arc. So you're like, it just kind of seems like this is for the best. It kind of seems like, but the guy who's the horse, who he kind of has this, like, he's basically spending the whole, the main guy goes evil at a point, and he joins the bad guys because everyone finds that he's an Orphanoc, so he wants to get killed because he doesn't want to live as an Orphanoc. And he's going through this whole, like, no, you're the one who taught me that you can be whatever. And so he, in the third act twist, he loses his faith. He has a friend who's a girl. She gets killed, and he has this huge crisis of faith and becomes a bad guy. And so he takes the belt off the set guy, and he kills him with his own belt. And it's really, really metal and really badass. And yeah, I love the seasons where it's the monsters are humans, because it allows for nuance where the Kamen Rider isn't necessarily the good guy, and the monsters aren't necessarily the bad guy. And there's times where it's like, they're showing this really sick move or sick moment, but he's attacking a good guy, and I don't want them to die. And like, Kamen Rider is the kind of show where you're like, oh no, is this character I like my favorite character, gonna bite it? Also, I like Kaiza. He's got his gun is also a sword. So he's got his gun, and then he activates it, and the sword comes out the bottom, and he holds it like this, and he fights like that with it, like, backhanded, and it's really badass. It's really cool. I think that I wondered, and I don't know how to find this out. I'd love to know, do the suit actors get to pick the fighting style for each of the riders? Because each of the riders has a decidedly different fighting style. Like Faiz,
I would say probably not. I would say probably the casting director has or whoever wrote it has a specific idea of what that fighting style is supposed to be, and they then find an actor that will suit, like a special guy, an actor who suits it.
Because Faiz is way more of a boxer. Like that, so it's funny because him turning into a gun in Decade, he's not a shooter. He doesn't have a gun. He doesn't really have a gun. Like he does eventually develop an ability where he kind of has a gun, but he's more of a, and he kind of uses a sword, but not really. But he's more of a punchy guy. Like he's a boxer. He's a straight brawling boxer where he punch, pushes away, punch. Like those are all of his fight sequences, and it's really fun to watch compared to, like, a wizard who is a kicky guy.
Yeah, kicky and sword guy.
Yeah. And that's part one of Faiz. Also, that's the other thing that made me laugh. I mentioned, I love how every episode ends with "Keep your eyes on Faiz." Keep your eyes on Faiz. And then the last episode, it's for the final time. Keep your eyes on Faiz. And I'm like, that's nice. I like that. That's a nice touch. So I think the video that this is probably gonna be is gonna be called "Keep your eyes on Faiz."
Keep your eyes on Faiz. It's a wizard of a time.
It's a wizard of a time. I like that.
And then you can combine Faiz.
All right. So, I'm gonna end my week on more Faiz. So I wanted to watch the Faiz movie because there's two Faiz movies. There's Faiz Paradise Lost.
遠くない未来、ある国の物語。世界は人類の進化系オルフェノクによって支配されていた。残された唯一の希望は。テレビシリーズとは違うもう一つのストーリー、そして新たなるファイズ。人間など死んだ方がいい。最強のライダーを生む帝王のベルトの謎。
何を考えてるんですか？
俺たちと同じ夢を持っていた人間のこと。
ファイズ。
And Faiz Paradise Reimagined. I don't have a ton to say on Paradise Lost. It's just the main difference is it takes place in another alternate universe, an alternate timeline where the Orphanox won and they took over the planet. And at a certain moment, the main guy, he disappeared and lost his memory, and he wound up in a village, a paradise village of humans. And the guy who got killed in the original series, the second rider, he's back. And the main leader of the bad guys, he's now a brain in a jar, and he has created, they call them emperor belts, but like they're like perfected belts or whatever. And there's a random Kamen Rider who speaks English.
After all, you're only human.
What the fuck? Did he just speak English?
Give me the belt.
That man is speaking English.
Good to see you guys. Taking care of all of you is also part of my job.
We're just not going to address the fact that he's speaking English.
Let the game begin.
He just
Okay.
he speaks, and I'm not talking like he speaks like in Kaku Ranger where
No,
he
you sent
speaks
me
English.
you sent me the clip or something.
Yeah,
and
with
yeah,
like
no,
a
he just
flawless American accent.
speaks
He
English.
just speaks English. And they like I thought maybe later on in the movie they might address it. They never address it. They never once address the fact that he speaks English. And then yeah, it's a different sort of history. So the different characters are in different places, and so it came out during the show. So the horse guy, he's still an idealist. He's still happy, and his girl, one of the people in his little clique in the original show, she dies. She gets killed, she gets stabbed, and she dies. And that's what causes him to go evil, basically. And so in this movie, she also dies. Oh, and she is in love with the guy I said was basically Japanese Jack Sparrow, who's my favorite character. She's in love with him, but he has no interest in her. And the goofy human sidekick character is pen paling with her, but doesn't realize it's her, and he's also in love with her. There's a ton of romance in that show. There's a lot of weird love triangles. The horse guy and the main guy have this weird sexual tension in every scene they're in. They seem like they might be in love with each other, and it seems like it in this movie as well that they may be in love with each other. They share a lot of longing looks, is all I'm saying. They share a lot of longing glances.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Not
with
that there's anything wrong with that. They're allowed to be gay. I'm just saying they should get together. I was rooting for them. They were the couple I was rooting for. But he in the movie, he does admit his love for the girl, and he gets killed, which causes the guy to go evil, and he becomes a brand new rider. And the costume design is really cool on his Kamen Rider. He's called Kamen Rider Orga, and he's really cool. His costume is badass. The other rider, he's pretty cool. He kind of suffers from, he's got what kind of appears to be a jetpack, and we talked about how I can't stand it when it's clunky. Like there's a couple of fight sequences where he's fighting and it flops around like it's cloth or like it's rubber, because it is. There's a new girl rider. Oh no, that's in the next movie. It is otherwise an alright movie. The final boss fight. Oh, it also introduces his second form, his upgraded form, which he gets later in the show. But this is where that gets introduced. And the big final fight is against a big CGI monster. It's not super interesting. Oh, the other thing about Faiz is it ends. The way it ends is I should mention the ending of it because it is important for this next bit. So, the ending of Faiz. In the final kind of arc of the show, the little boy that Kaido is his name. Kaido saves from a fire randomly in an episode. He's been kind of paying attention to him. He's been staying at this orphanage, and Kaido's been kind of looking out for him. He gets possessed by the Orphanoch King. And the Orphanoch King is eating other Orphanochs to gain strength, but the kid is not the Orphanoch King. The kid is just kind of possessed by him. And initially all the Orphanochs want to kill him, but then for reasons that it's not really explained, they change allegiances. So now they pledge allegiance to him, but the Orphanoch King is just kind of a mindless monster. He doesn't really seem to have any motivations or evils or goods or wants or desires. He just is random destructive force that wants to kill people. And that's where a big twist revealed third act turns out that eventually Orphanochs just die. Like eventually they just like disappear and wither away and die.
We all die eventually.
Yeah, but like at an extended pace. They eventually will just turn into dust and die. And so the horse guy who was good, he becomes evil because he wants to harness the power somehow, it's not really explained how, of the Orphanoch King so they won't die. And so he has kidnapped the kid and like is feeding him with different Orphanochs, and that's where I sent you the clip of the kid exploding.
Oh shit! That boy exploded! Show's for kids, right? Show's for kids? The show's for kids, right? It's definitely for kids.
Where the kid just explodes? Yeah, so
yes.
All of the three, by the end of the show, there's 3 riders. They beat the guy, and like he goes to do a big rider kick and kill him, and you don't actually see the king die. It just cuts to like a week later or whatever, and Kaido's like watching this orphanage, and all the characters are like, wow, that battle with that guy sure was something, huh? Yeah, it sure is. Man, it sure was like a dream that thing happened. And then it cuts to they're all sitting on like a field or whatever, and he's like, what are you gonna do now? He's like, I'm gonna live like this guy, helping everyone's dreams come true or whatever. And then it shows the one of the evil girls, she has the body of the Orphanoch King just there. And then that's how the show ends. And it doesn't have an ending.
That feels sudden.
Unresolved.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, it's very unresolved. You're like, wait, so the big bad guy's just alive? And so then, so the second movie I watched was the 20-year anniversary special.
オルフェノクさんですよね。申し訳ありませんが、死んでください。
またオルフェノクがスマートブレインに。
俺がいる。君のそばにずっと。
必要ありませんよ。ファイズの力なんて草加さんのカイザと俺のデルタがあれば。
匠！
変身！
犬のやつ裏切りやがった。
どうした犬？何のつもりだ？
匠は信じてたじゃない。オルフェノクの可能性を。
Where was it?
Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider Faiz. So it's the Visa Cinema, or is it Paradise Reimagined, and it takes place 20 years after the end of Kamen Rider Faiz, and it is, to start off with, very bad. Remember how you were like your Godzilla movie feels like this feels like fan fiction. This feels like, because apparently from what I read, I don't know which actors, but like a few of the actors wanted to make this. I don't know if you can hear me.
Keep talking. I'm listening.
A couple of the actors wanted to make this. So like the actor, and I don't know which ones, because I don't know obviously the actors who play which characters, but when I was reading about it, several of the actors, like, this was like their passion. They wanted to come back and do this for the anniversary. But okay, so
good for them.
It takes place, yeah, but it's really not very good. Okay, so it takes place.
Oh, so what you're saying is it's kind of a Billy Power Rangers Forever situation.
Yes, totally. That's what it reminds me of. Because, like, okay, so it takes place 20 years after the end of the original show, and the evil bad guys one of the bad guys is now, who somehow didn't die, is now in control of Smart Brain, and they now work with the government hunting down Orphanox. And so, if they discover you're an Orphanox, they execute you. And somehow, the guy who had his throat crushed like a grape,
A family picture.
is somehow alive. It's never explained how. And, or sorry, I should say, it's not explained how in the moment, how he's alive, or why none of the characters seem shocked that he's alive. And his belt, which gets destroyed by the final boss,
Carl?
is somehow back. He has it again. And he is living with the girl, the main girl from the original show, who are living...
Brittany?
Yeah, Brittany. And they're living in, because the whole deal was they lived and with this one guy, the affable idiot sidekick guy. They lived with him, and he ran a dry cleaning business. And so long as they helped him with the dry cleaning business, they could live with him. So they're still living at his place, and they've now opened up a second location, which Kaido has converted into a ramen restaurant because he feels like he's the most distracted when he's cooking ramen. And basically the guy, the main guy, Kamen Rider Faiz, he's disappeared. He discovered that he was starting to die, like disappear. He disappears and he's gone. He's been gone for a while. And the guy who owns the shop, his son is, or nephew, I think, is an Orphanoch, and he there's a new girl, a Kamen Rider, who she transforms. The whole thing with Faiz is he transforms using a phone, like a flip phone, which his name is Kamen Rider Fives, 555, because that's the number he pushes to transform, but it's pronounced.
That makes sense.
So she now has, instead of having a flip phone, she has a touch phone that she uses to transform because it's 2023. She goes to attack the nephew or whatever, and yeah, many of the characters from the original show just get executed. Like one of the guys who's the third rider, he just gets killed. Several like kids get killed, and Faiz comes back and he's got like a new belt. So instead of being a flip phone, it's now a touch phone as well, and he's got a whole new form and a whole new costume. And he shows up, and they're all like, "Oh, we're so happy to see you." It's whatever. And he starts attacking all of them. And he's got all these really sick new moves that are really cool, but are ultimately very upsetting because he's about to kill a character I really, really like, and he's my favorite character. Please don't kill my favorite character.
Don't break my toys.
Right? And so all of a sudden, so in the end of the original show, they find out that the girl has the Orphanoch bits in her, but not enough to become an Orphanoch. So in this movie, turns out, oh no, she does have enough to become an Orphanoch. So the girl Kamen Rider, she has a huge thing for Kamen Rider Faiz. She basically is the one keeping him alive in a tube, giving him injections and whatnot to keep him from disintegrating. And she is jealous of the girl. Like, she has all these files on her and has been reading her. It's like, oh, is she your girlfriend? Was she your girlfriend? He was like, no, she was not my girlfriend. And he was like, oh, you were in love with her, weren't you? You were in love with her. And so she goes after the girl and turns her into an Orphanoch, so she has an excuse to go after her. So now this girl, who is just kind of like a helpless sidekick character, now all of a sudden is an Orphanoch and can do fight sequences now and get into fights now. And
so she can now be useful.
Right, yeah. And so they basically, there's a whole sequence of events which leads to them confronting each other in a warehouse. He's acting evil and she's trying to figure out why, and she like reveals that she's in love with him, and they kiss while in Orphanoch form. She's a cat and he's a wolf. Get it?
No,
because cats and wolves, they're like polar opposite, so it's a forbidden love.
No, it's cats and dogs are polar opposites. Cats and wolves, I don't think they have any relation at all. That's not really a
That's what they're
thing.
going for, Jordan. That's what they're going for. And so
Okay,
the
well,
implication,
he should have been a dog then.
because like after they kiss, it then cuts, and she's covering herself with a sheet in the bed, and he's like, so I think the implication is that they sleep together, like they have sex, which is weird. It's very weird. And then yeah, the girl attacks them in this warehouse, and there's a big fight sequence, and she says a line which I don't ever want to hear in a Kamen Rider ever again. Well, at least, okay, so I don't know if you experienced this.
I love you.
Well, okay, I don't know if you experienced this because to be fair, a lot of the stuff you watched on was on
Tubi.
yeah, so it was like professional subtitlers, but a lot of these subtitlers are done by like fans and whatnot, right? So it's hard to know if that's what they're actually saying, or if they're saying an approximation of it.
See, that's why. Well, I always get the Blu-ray box, so
Yeah,
the
fair
versions
enough.
that I always get are usually the professional ones.
Fair enough.
But I can see where the concern would come from. I would always just assume it's an approximation.
Because like yeah, and they said it again in this I think it was the first movie, but
What?
there's a phrase they keep saying which the subtitles say it's "Don't fuck with me."
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a-
you mentioned that.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
similar phrase, and they say it multiple times. Multiple characters say it multiple times, and the subtitles are translating it to "Don't fuck with me," and I just don't think that's what. And like,
They're probably saying something to the effect of like "Don't mess with me,"
don't
and
mess
it's
with
just,
me, but a really
and
extreme
it's
version
like,
of it. Yeah, that's what
well,
I figure.
it's probably like in you know how we've discussed before how in Japanese there's certain ways that they say things where it's really disrespectful.
Yeah.
So it's probably like they're saying in like the most disrespectful Japanese way possible, don't mess with me or don't screw with me
Right.
or something like that, and it probably just doesn't
So
translate.
like at one point in this movie, there's a character.
I'm just guessing.
There's an old lady who comes and drops off or complains about her dry cleaning, and the subtitles say, "Oh, you always get these kind of Karens." Now, to be fair,
Yeah, I don't think that's what they're saying.
okay, well, to be fair, this movie came out in 2023, so that is a colloquially known phrase at that point. I just don't think it's something they'd
Is
say
it in Japan?
In Japan,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't imagine so. But
Like,
the Japanese
like
person tell me.
I could see it being a thing where it's like in Japanese they're essentially saying like she's like a bitter old woman or she's like
Maybe
what would their word for shrew be? Like she's a shrew.
I don't. Yeah, I
Like
don't know.
I could see it being like they're saying that and there's just
Or
no translation.
or like he says shit. Like the one guy I mentioned, Japanese Jack Sparrow. He says shit a lot in this, like just a lot. Or like at one point, he says, "All this is happening because you didn't just give it to her," and I'm like, that's a really crass joke. A crass thing, particularly even for this character who's already pretty crass. That's a very crass thing for him to say. But also the implication that they slept together. Again, it's really adult but I don't know if maybe that's what
I don't
they're
know.
going for.
I mean, Japan is also the place where you had Dragon Ball, where there's a old man who
Right, but this is still a
sees.
Kamen Rider, and like even I would say
Right, but
it's a
you're just
tad
talking.
more.
But you said that it's not like a kid thing. But I'm like, that is a kid's show, and it did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Kamen Rider, he's just never had sex in it. I guess I don't know. But it ends with it turns out that the guy who died and I appreciate this, the guy who we thought was ultimately he chooses to go with the girl who's now an orphanok, and the other girl is now jealous, and yeah, she says go make love in hell, which is just a weird thing to see in a Kamen Rider thing. I was like, I don't like that. I don't like, and so yeah, she attacks the whatever. So, but it turns out that the second rider, who is just mysteriously alive for no explained reason at the beginning, turns out he's actually an android, and nobody goes, oh yeah, no, that makes sense because you died. You're dead. You shouldn't be alive. But he's been an android that's just been living with her for like 10 years or whatever. Or however many years he's been living with her. And she just hasn't picked up on the fact that he's an android. And it turns out that, yeah, no, he did actually die. And he actually now has his own version of this new upgraded touch phone transformation device, belt. and it's really cool. It's just as cool. Like the designs are cool, but yeah, there's all this romance crap that's just like, this is bad. And then the movie ends inexplicably with no explanation. So he's just like, oh yeah. He looks at it and says, there's something wrong with my hand. And he looks at it, and instead of there being the hole, like it's dissolving, he's like, oh, my lifeline is now longer somehow. And so it implies that he's going to live now. Like, the end of the show sort of indicates that they're all going to eventually die, but they don't. It's very strange. It was not a very good... In terms of an epilogue to Faiz, I was kind of hoping for some more clarification. It feels like a sequel to something I didn't see. And as near as I can tell, there isn't a thing I didn't see. But this feels like, I don't know her name, but the lead girl, it feels like her fan fiction, because everything happens to her at several points. Multiple guys are fighting over her. She's kind of a Mary Sue in this. I hate that word, but that's kind of what she is.
Okay,
that's it. That has been Keep Your Eyes on Faiz.
Hey there everybody, it's Endcard Justin here. Let me know down in the comments, have you ever kept your eyes on Faiz? Is this something you're now interested in? Did you learn a new thing? Let me know what you think down in the comments. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast episodes from our Tokusatsu special, you click the box on the left. Or, if you want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out every single day of the week. Or you can just leave us a like. That helps us out too. We will see you all tomorrow.